Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today, got a new video for you. Something we haven't really done before. A video solely on mobile games, on a particular mobile game, with mobile game B-roll here. Obviously, we have Clash of Clans pulled up here in my base and attacks. Don't judge me or my base. I like to think I'm okay, but obviously the attacking says otherwise. I'm not very good at strategically thinking a lot of attacks. I kind of just spam, but regardless why I think Clash of Clans, and honestly, a little side note, Supercell as well, is the best mobile game of all time, and why I think they're probably the best mobile game development team of all time in Supercell. Clash of Clans is fantastic. It's hard to put into words just how, first of all, popular and culturally impactful this has been in the United States at least, and how amazing this game is. Obviously, this game's been out for a long time here. It's been one of the most popular games of like all time. Still is, especially on mobile, one of the most popular games, out there right now. Probably the one of, if not just straight up the most iconic mobile game of all time. Up there with the likes of stuff like Subway Surfers, Angry Birds, Doodle Jump, some legends in the space, of course. I think it's the best mobile game of all time, and we're going to get into why I think that here. Clash of Clans, when you really boil it down to its kind of core components here, isn't necessarily a unique game on the even on the mobile app store. It's essentially a, I guess, settlement or kingdom building or base building and development game. Clash of Clans isn't the only one out there. Obviously, Clash of Clans kind of was the first one to blow up, though. I'm not even necessarily sure if it was the first one ever on the App Store. It wouldn't surprise me given the age, but it was the first one to take it mainstream, to blow up like that, and really make that impact. And I think that's a huge part of why it got so popular, why it got so iconic, and why it's so good, and why it's in the space and the spot it's currently in. But I don't think that's the sole reason. Because, yeah, a lot of other games are like Clash of Clans. Not exactly like Clash of Clans, but there's been a lot of games in the genre essentially following kind of the same loose formula and subgenre here that Clash of Clans follows. You know, you start with a base, you build it up by getting resources from raids, you upgrade stuff, you progress maybe through the ages or through the levels depending on the game. You maybe join some clan or group, do some, stuff with them, you help each other out a little bit. There's a lot of games like Clash of Clans. Hell, there's games that have gotten as close to ripping Clash of Clans off as you legally can get if you look up some of the others. And there's some that just follow the formula. But none of these games have ever A gotten as popular or done as well financially speaking, or B gotten to the level of iconic and like fandom that Clash of Clans and really most Supercell games have gotten to. And there's a few reasons why. First off, I think the timing aspect's a big one. Being the first big dog on the street or whatever is a lot more important than people give it credit for. Even if you're not necessarily the best, which I think Clash of Clans is regardless, but even if you're not the best, being the first and the most established player in the market of something is huge for not only building but maintaining some sort of relevance and prestige, especially over time, which Clash of Clans has done. But even moving on from the timing aspect of Clash of Clans, the game is just brilliant. At its core, yes, it's just a base building game and progression game that you think would get very monotonous over time, especially, but it really doesn't. And I think it's a huge testimony not only to the world of Clash of Clans and the game that they have built, but what they've done over the years and years of this game since it's been released onto the App Store. To delve a little more into that, Clash of Clans' universe is amazing. It's unique. It's one of a kind. And you can say that for a lot of games, but even more so for Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans doesn't draw on a lot of other stuff for its inspiration. Its universe, its characters, everything about it is very unique, very wholesome, very cool, and it's PG, it's E for everybody, while not being too over the top about it. It's perfect. It's fun, cartoony, interesting, It doesn't draw off of, historical stuff. It doesn't draw off of mythologies. It doesn't draw off of other, fictional universes. It does some crossovers and shit. Like, it'll do some WWE events, which is the most recent one and stuff like that. But the core of its universe is very unique. It's very wholesome. It's very cool. It's got this very cartoonish look. It's got this really cool atmosphere and world. The people, the characters, and everything work really well. Like, there's not really a lot of misses here. All the buildings make sense and look good. All the walls do. All the troops make sense. They work together well. They function and form well, each in their own unique role and spot. There's a lot of synergies that they play off of each other. There's a lot of uniqueness that keeps it fresh when it comes to army compositions, base designing, how you want to attack, what you want to prioritize. It's very unique. It's very wholesome. It's very fresh, and they've done a great job of not only keeping it that, but updating it, and not only slapping a new coat of paint on it, but changing it up and keeping it fresh and spicy as the years have gone on by adding new stuff, by tweaking the designs and looks, and nerfing and balancing and upgrading, fucking uh, buffing. I don't know why I fucking studied there for so long, but a lot of these troops and stuff, and the game has always been somewhat balanced. Of course, metas happen in games like this, but the game has been very, very good, very well managed over the years. I think that kind of segues into the next thing is even though this game is very old and the design and the core functionality of these type of games you think would get old after a while, and for some people it does, but for a lot of people, including myself, there's a reason I've been playing this game for that long, and I've never really fully left. Everyone takes breaks in this game, I feel like, but it doesn't. You don't leave. One thing is, they keep it fresh. They add new troops. They redo troops. They introduce new buildings and town halls all the time. It started out as Town Hall 8 being the kind of max you could achieve when this game first initially dropped. Then it went to 9 and 10 for a while, and then 11. I think we're on what 17 or 18. I don't really look ahead too much, but we're we're almost more than double what it started at. New buildings being unlocked, new themes for these town halls being introduced that look good and make your base look nice. On top of that, new troops come into the game, new heroes come into the game, new events come into the game. It's just truly fantastic, and it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you coming back. New events happen that you want to participate in and give you stuff, beneficial to you. There's a ton of reasons to keep going into this game, and it's because of the constant work and updates of this game. Now, getting into some of the core functionalities of why I think this game is maybe better than some other games like it, and even why I think it's even more popular and iconic than some other great games like an Angry Birds or a Temple Run or a Doodle Jump, some other legendary mobile games that have obviously have their iconic spots in history as well and are very good. Clash of Clans, I think a big reason for it is the community aspect of it. Obviously, there's some human interaction when you get raided and you raid people, but even going beyond that, the clan aspect of the game, especially when it comes to mobile games, was a very unique and first of its kind type of thing. I feel like when it first initially came out, especially, and it still is to this day. You have other mobile games, the ones I mentioned in the past, or like even ports of games like you Madden Mobile and stuff. But there's more community aspect in a game like Clash of Clans than there is in a lot of those. You have your clans where you can talk to and interact with and view other people's bases and all your friends' bases. You can participate in wars with them where you coordinate strategies and attack with each other on another clan. You can test out and attack each other's bases. You can share armies and bases. You can donate to each other. You can participate in clan events like clan games, clan war leagues, and clan capital, which is an entirely new kind of sort of content and base that you can build, keeping the game fresh and adding another community aspect into it that really brings the community together and keeps it in that relevant and iconic spot in the cultural kind of psyche throughout all this time here. It's the stuff like that that makes it so relevant, so amazing, and so popular, in my opinion. On top of that, the game doesn't ever get really old. I've hit on a lot of reasons why with the updated content and the uniqueness of the game and the world and everything and the fun aspects of it. But why doesn't raiding eventually get old? Why doesn't everything get why does it get old? Why don't you get burnt out of it? Part of it is, I think, the pacing, and this has changed over the years. Some for better, some for worse. But the game isn't like World of Warcraft. That has a lot of the same aspects, especially community speaking and stuff of it. It doesn't cost as much money though, and it doesn't cost as much time. You don't have to spend your entire life on Clash of Clans. The game naturally paces itself out very, very well. What I mean by that is like before this update where you don't have to train troops anymore, you used to have to train armies, and that took some time, and that was a natural limit to, kind of what you could do. On top of that, upgrades. You only have so many builders, and only have so much stuff they can do, and upgrades, especially once you get further into the game, take a while. So at a certain point, there's not a lot more progression. There's not a lot more stuff you can currently do if all of your abilities are doing something or your army's not currently up. So it's not a game that consumes all of your time. It's very much so a game that hardcore and casual gamers with a lot of time and a little time can all play and enjoy themselves on, and all still make a lot of progression and a lot of equal kind of contributions to their base. It doesn't necessarily reward you by being a no life, and it doesn't necessarily punish you for being, kind of inconsistent at times or not, spending all of your time on the game, which is great. That's part of the reason why I think it's great for everybody. And there's a lot of strategy and a lot of unique kind of ideas with this game. First come in the raids base layouts. There's a lot of different ways you can orient your base. It truly is a strategy game. There's a lot of things you can do. Every raid, every battle is unique. You analyze, okay, how is this base set up? How do I tag this? Do I go in from this side because he has a cluster of air, he has a cluster of heavy defenses on this side and I want to take them out or I want to avoid them? Or should I use an air or ground attack or this attack or that attack? Because, oh, he's got a clustering of, you know, air defenses over here. I can lightning them, and his base is susceptible to air. Or he has low level air defenses, so it would work well. Or, oh, he actually, has really high air defenses and really well spread out. He's got these single target Inferno Tower islands that'd be problematic for my dragons. So I should probably use like, a hard hitting kind of like, you know, Yeti witch attack that can cut through a base and won't necessarily, be weakened by that or something. There's a lot. It's like a chess game with more steps and more, possibilities. Even in my opinion, there's a million different army combinations you can use, synergies that play off these troops. It's just a very unique game. It's a very fun game. It's a very awesome game for a lot of people, and I think that's what keeps people coming back to it. Obviously, this is very surface level stuff. I'm glossing over a lot of stuff here, but that in essence is what makes, in my opinion, Clash of Clans the best game of all time and why it's been so popular and why it's been so amazing for this long. That is Clash of Clans. That's why it's the best game of all time. That's why it's the most popular, it's the most popular iconic mobile game of all time. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, if you like the channel and the video, I encourage you to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.